Hello students. In this video, we will be learning about excretion, human excretory system, renal failure and technology for survival. Under normal condition, the living cells of organism, both plants and animals, work all the time in order to sustain life of the organism. Most of this work is done in the form of biochemical reactions. During this reaction, some metabolites are produced which may be toxic if accumulated in the cells. So there is a need to for the removal of these metabolites, right? To maintain the steady state, our body performs excretion. Excretion. Excretion is a biological process in which an organism gets rid of excess or toxic waste products of the metabolism. It's a process by which metabolic waste is eliminated from an organism. Dear students, here the definition of excretion given clearly states that the waste products have been made by the body itself and they are the products of metabolism. Egestion, that is removal of undigested food, is not regarded as excretion because it is not the product made by the human body. It is the leftover part of the material taken into the gut through the mouth. This point I have already cleared while explaining you the digestion, right? Removal of solid waste is not the excretion. While in the respiration also I have discussed this point with you, right? Sweating is also a type of excretion displayed by humans. Sweat also helps in bringing down the temperature of the body. Now, what is the importance of excretion? Excretion, it removes the unwanted byproduct of the metabolic pathways. It removes the many toxic chemical substances. It regulates the ionic concentration of the body fluids for enzyme activity, protein synthesis, production of hormones, etc. It helps in regulation of water content of the body fluids. It is very important process in regulating the pH of the body fluids, right? So these are the importance of excretion. That's why the excretion is needed. Now let's begin with the human excretory system. Excretory system in humans consists of pair of kidneys, pair of ureters, a urinary bladder and a urethra, right? The two kidneys are located towards the back of the lower part of the abdominal cavity. Left kidney is slightly larger and placed a little higher than the right kidney. The blood from the aorta enters into the kidney via renal artery and returns to the posterior vena cava via renal vein. Urine formed in the kidneys passes by pair of ureters to the bladder where it is stored until it is released via urethra. So this is about the human excretory system. Now let's see the structure of kidney. There are two kidneys in humans. Each kidney is purplish brown in color, slightly flattened and shaped somewhat like the rajma bean, right? Internally, a kidney is made up of numerous microscopic excretory units that is known as nephron. We are going to discuss this also. This is the nephron, right? Internally, millions of nephrons are located, which are the excretory unit. Nephron is structural and functional unit of excretion. Single kidney consists about millions of nephrons, right? The most important function of kidney is filtration of blood to excrete the waste products of metabolism, right? Now moving ahead to the structure of nephron. What is a nephron? It is excretory unit. It is excretory unit, right? Okay. Now let's see the structure of nephron. Nephron has a cup-shaped upper end which is known as Bowman's capsule. It contains a bundle of blood capillaries which are known as glomerulus. What is glomerulus? It is a bundle of blood capillaries. The blood entering into the glomerulus carries waste material which are filtered out in the Bowman's capsule. Right? So when the blood, that is through renal artery, when the blood is entering, the blood carries many waste material which get filtered in the Bowman's capsule. Right? Okay. Filtration is possible because the walls of glomerular capillaries and the Bowman's capsules are very thin and are selectively permeable. The walls here are so thin and they are selectively permeable. So what will happen when the blood is entering into this glomerulus, Bowman's capsule, the waste material is absorbed. Waste like the substances like water, sodium, potassium, chloride, ions, glucose, amino acid along with the waste. Right? Important things along with the waste is absorbed in the glomerulus and it is known as glomerular filter. Right? Once the waste material is filtered out, the blood free from these waste material goes into the renal veins. Right? Here you can see in the renal vein, it will go from where it goes into the heart through posterior vena cava. Now let's see the function of Bowman's capsule. Bowman's capsule lead into a long tubular. You can see a tubular, right? These are the tubular structure of Bowman's capsule. So this is what I am discussing here. Bowman's capsule leads into a long tubular structure into which the glomerular filtrate, the one which is filtered out from here, moves away. Right? It has proximal convoluted tubule, that is PCT. Then it has the lobe of Henle and the distal convoluted tubule, that is DCT. Clear? The tubular structure is convoluted. Now what is the meaning of convoluted? It is highly twisted, right? Folded and has U-turn before meeting the collecting duct. Here it is the collecting duct which collect the urine which will open into urethra, which is going to open into urethra, and from there it goes to urinary bladder and finally urethra. Right? Okay. During the flow of glomerular filter through this convoluted tubule, in the long tube, reabsorption of useful materials and secretion of certain substances take place. As I told you, here not only the waste like urea, right, uric acid, these are the waste that we have to remove. But apart from this, glucose that is there in our blood, protein that is there in our blood, amino acid, sorry, not the protein, it is amino acid, I should rub it, amino acid, glucose, right, then chlorine, potassium, chloride ions, all these are the essential one, right? These are essential ones that are also present in glomerular filtrate. So, when the filtrate is passing from this convoluted tubule, what happens over here? The reabsorption of substances take place. Right? These important ones are reabsorbed. Clear? So, reabsorption of useful materials and secretion of certain substances take place. The material reabsorbed are glucose, amino acids, sodium, potassium, chloride ion, water, etc. The fluid reaching the end of collecting duct. Now here it reaches the end of the collecting duct is the urine. Now we can call it as urine. Till now what we were calling it? Filtrate. Right? The urine is a fluid and dissolved waste substance excreted by kidney. Finally, the urine moves through the ureter. Here. Through the ureter, urine will move and collects in the urinary bladder till throughout of the body. right, through ureter and urinary opening. This is how the functioning of our excretory system take place, right? This was about the excretory system. Now what happened, like sometimes renal failure, our kidneys get failed. It is because kidneys with a with a normal aging, there is a gradual declining in the process of the kidney. Efficiency of kidney gradually drops down, right? So what is the reason? One is aging. Aging is not only the cause for declining in the efficiency of kidney. There are the other causes also, like kidney infection, injury in the kidney, or there is restricted blood flow in the kidneys, right? So this will lead to abnormalities in the kidney and may result in malfunctioning of the kidney. A general term for decline in the performance of kidney is known as kidney failure. What is it known as? It's known as kidney failure, right? Though it is not common, but if proper care is not being taken, or if it's not being treated properly, then it may result to death. Clear? So what is the substitute for this? If the person with the aging, its kidney get failed, what is the precaution or prevention treatments that is to be taken? The failure of both kidneys immediately need medical intervention. If both the kidneys are failed, then there is immediate need of medical intervention. There are two alternative methods. Number one is a matching kidney from a healthy person may be transplanted, or an artificial kidney machine may be employed in order to get rid of metabolic waste from the blood and to maintain normal level of water and mineral ions in the body fluid. Here you can see in the diagram, the blood from the artery is pumped, passes from a selectively permeable membranes, right, from where the exchange of materials take place, and then again in the vein. Student, remember, from artery the blood is flowing out, and in vein the blood is given back, right? So it is known as artificial kidney. Kidney machine may be employed in order to get rid of metabolic waste from the body, from the blood, and to maintain normal level of water and minerals and the body fluid. The artificial kidney functions on the same principle as a normal kidney, and the process is known as dialysis, right? The blood circulates slowly through the long cellulose tubes coiled in a tank filled with dialysing unit. Finally, the clean blood is pumped back into the patient. This is how the failure of kidney can be treated. And here we are ending our excretory system excretion in humans. Thank you. Hello students. In this video, we will be learning about the three processes, that is excretion in plants, excretion in animals, and mode of respiration in animals apart from the human beings. Let's begin with excretion in plants. Usually, plant doesn't face any problem of elimination of waste excretory product as the animals, right? Because plants are the producers and they synthesize all their organic requirements according to their demands. But if any waste substance is produced in the metabolic process of the plant, they disposed of in the following methods. Here in the first figure, you can see the exchange of material through the stomata. Here gaseous exchange, that is carbon dioxide and oxygen, takes place through stomata. Because respiration, like the product excretion, is CO2 in the respiration, which is utilized by the photosynthesis, whereas oxygen is a byproduct of photosynthesis. So these exchange of gases takes place through stomata. In the second figure, you can see there are certain insoluble crystals on the surface of leaf, right? These are excess organic acids. When it is produced inside the leaf, they precipitate out in the form of insoluble crystals, which can be safely stored in the plant cell. Next is guttation. What is guttation? You might have heard, in the morning, dew drops on the leaves of grass. Yes, these are guttation. That is guttation. What is guttation? Guttation is removal of excess salt and water through the hydatodes. Hydatodes are the specialized cell that is present. For example, this is a grass, right? And there are specialized cells that are present on the margin of these grass, which is known as hydatodes, right? And in in entire night, the water oozes out from it, and that lead to formation of droplets. This is known as guttation. Now, guttation is a form where excess salt is being removed. Water droplets passed out of the special pores at leaf margins. Water may contain sugars or salts to be excreted out. Next one is removal of the dead permanent tissues, the waste that is stored in the form of bark of a tree, fruits, or the seeds, right? Some waste are eliminated through petals, seeds, and leaves as well. Now, leaf fall. In plants like tobacco, tea, almond, they get rid of excretory waste stored within the leaves. They're stored in the leaf. When the leaf is aging, right, it's undergoing senescence, then the important materials are translocated back from the old leaf to the new leaves. Meanwhile, the waste is stored in these leaves. Waste compounds are often stored in dead hardwoods, bark. Hardwood is nothing but it is the stem, right? Bark and leaves which die, fall and off. When chlorophyll breaks down, other compounds in the leaves give the characteristic autumn color seen just before the leaf. Because here, when the leaf is falling, right, senescence, the aging of the leaves will lead to the decoloration. Chlorophyll get breakdown. Chlorophyll is green in color, so it will get break, and that's why the color of leaf will change. Next is, this is the last way through which plant is getting rid of the excretory products, right? Some excretory products such as latex, gums, essential oil, rubbers are stored in a special type of tissues and glands, right? So these are also a type of excretory product, right? This is where we are ending our excretion in plants. Now let's see about the mode of excretion in animals. Animals except the humans, for excretion we have these kidneys, right? But here you can see there are different. For example, in insects they have Malpighian tubules. We just have to remember the name. We need not to describe it, elaborate it. So in an insect it is Malpighian tubule. In vertebrates, kidney. Vertebrates, those are the vertebrates. Who are the vertebrates? Like fishes, yes, amphibians, reptiles, aves, and mammals. These all have kidney for their filtration, for their excretion. Annelidas, that is earthworm, they have the nephridia. They respire through nephridia. Clear? Okay, so what is their excretory organ? That is nephridia. Then the last one, single cell organism. In which way the single cell organism get rid of the waste material? They don't have any spatial excretory organ, but they get rid by the contractile vacuole. All these things you just have to remember. This may come in your 1 marker question or in your MCQs. That is in objectives. Now, moving ahead with the mode of respiration in animals. There are different types of respiration. Here you can see the cutaneous respiration that is through skin. Brachial, that through gills. You will see pulmonary, that we have the lungs. trachea, this is special one. The spiracles, holes on their body. Here, insects. Insect respire through tracheal system. Here you can see in this figure, they have the holes that are known as spiracles at their margin, through which the edge of their body, through which they show the respiration. Next one is cutaneous respiration. Cutaneous respiration is through skin. The examples that you have to remember is the earthworm and the adult amphibians. Right? Cutaneous, that is through skin, in earthworm and amphibians. Next is respiration through gills. It is specific, that is in fish, aquatic. Right? This is also known as brachial respiration. Next one is respiration through lungs. This is specific to birds, reptiles, mammals. They all have the lungs for their respiration. Now last point, rate of breathing in aquatic organism. Dear student, the rate of breathing in aquatic animal is more. Why? Because the amount of oxygen dissolved in water is very less comparing to the atmosphere. That's why fishes take in water through their mouth and force it past gills to the dissolved oxygen and is taken up by the. So my student, rate of respiration in aquatic animal is more. Why it is more? Because if we compare the terrestrial, that is on the land, right? We have oxygen, free oxygen more comparing to the water, the oxygen that is dissolved in the water. So the aquatic animal, they breathe fast, right? So as to get more amount of oxygen, because oxygen dissolved is less. So here we are ending our chapter, right, regarding the excretion, all the life processes. Thank you.